live look at Bill Snyder Family Stadium here in Manhattan, where we had a brief weather delay pregame. There was some lightning in the area. There is more rain expected later this afternoon, but we've got a window here to get things started. And we are expected to kick off around 12:15 Eastern, 11:15 local. Of course, no spirits dampened when it comes to the student section here at Kansas State. The Wildcats getting set to take on the Missouri Tigers. Both were winners in their season openers a week ago. So we get set for Deuce Vaughn, the All-America running back, taking on a very strong Missouri defense from a week ago. About 12:15 Eastern, set for kick here in Manhattan. Kevin?
All right, Beth, thanks so much. We look forward to kickoff there from Manhattan, Kansas. Welcome inside our ESPN College Football Studios with my guy, Sam Acho. Kevin Connors here. A lot of great noon kickoff games. One in particular in DKR that you have your eye on, right?
Yeah, Texas-Alabama. It's going to be a great game. First time they've played since 2009. Obviously, Alabama is huge favorites, but new quarterback Quinn Ewers, he's a freshman, transfer from Ohio State. He could put Texas on the map.
That linebacking core of Alabama, so much fun to watch here in the early season. Here we got a lot of great noon kickoffs going on around the ESPN family of networks, including over on ABC, Ohio, and Penn State. Nittany Lions, 20 consecutive non-conference home wins. How about Spencer Rattler, KJ Jefferson, the quarterback matchup on ESPN?
Huge quarterback matchup. Obviously, KJ Jefferson, big win last week, but Spencer Rattler, he transferred from Oklahoma, is starting a new career, South Carolina. But remember, he was like a Heisman favorite before we started last season, so let's see what he can do today.
And then a lot of pressure on DJU and the Clemson Tigers over on the ACC network. We're coming back with college football after this. Kansas right now. Later tonight, 7 Eastern, Sam, on ESPN. Kentucky and Florida, a couple of ranked teams having at it. The Gators coming off that big win over Utah last week.
That big win that hopped them up into the rankings. Right there in the top 15 now. Anthony Richardson is the player to watch, the quarterback at Florida. Remember, Florida wasn't ranked. Billy Napier came in as a new coach, and he's changed the culture from Louisiana Lafayette. He changed the culture there. Now he's changing it at Florida. It's going to be a huge game. Will Levis, a quarterback for Kentucky. Anthony Richardson, a quarterback for Florida. Matchup of some Titans.
A lot of questions about whether or not Chris Rodriguez, the great running back at Kentucky, will play in that game. The feeling is right now that likely will not be the case. But again, that one kicks off 7 Eastern on ESPN. We're in a rain delay, a weather delay right now in Manhattan, Kansas. Missouri and Kansas State will kick off, we think, at about 12:15 Eastern time. But again, so many terrific games going on around college football right now. Why don't we take a live look in to one going on over on ESPNU, and one of the intriguing teams in college football through the first 2 weeks of the season, Sam, the North Carolina Tar Heels.
Oh, going to be a great game. North Carolina had some nail-biters in the first 2 weeks, but obviously their defense has to improve. Let's see how that offense looks.
Well, that offense looked great a week ago, putting up 63 on the board. Why don't we listen into this one at Georgia State, North Carolina with the football.
And May going to run for it, and it's going to be very close. Venzial again making the stop. Now where they spot it's going to be key. Drake May, not a bad runner.
No, not a bad runner at all. Again, deceptively fast, nice footwork, and let's talk about his frame. 6'4.5", 220. Here we got our first decision of the game, 4th and inches. Drake May wants to go for this thing.
They're 3 for 4 on 4th down this year. I don't know. There's a good hit in the backfield. Second effort. We'll see if they got it. Akeem Smith, the nose guard, blew that play up.
Wow, just did get us a great play by Smith. Just got it by inches there. Already early in this game. With the risk going forward on 4th and short. You got to block Akeem Smith. 300 pounds.
So Mack Brown rolling the dice near midfield and comes up with a winner. George Pettaway getting the touch here on 1st down. John Trey Hunter making the stop for this defense of Georgia State, which returns 8 starters. And this is a good-looking unit so far for Nate Fuqua, the 6th-year defensive coordinator.
And already early in this gameplay, on the interior part of their line, giving this North Carolina offense some trouble.
After no gain, rolling out is May on 2nd down and 10. Nowhere to go downfield. and he'll just duck down at the 45 and take a short loss. Thomas Gore, their top defensive lineman, make the play. Georgia State's defense last week held the Gamecocks to just over 300 yards total offense and only 79 on the ground.
Yeah, 21 plays of 0 or negative yards. I mean, last year, this was one of the best defenses in the entire Sun Belt. 92 tackles for loss. And you can see early on here, they want to get after Drake May. And I think one thing you get the feeling of, they want to try to hit him early on. He hasn't really been hit so far this season.
Redshirt freshman out of Huntersville, North Carolina. 3rd down and long. Good pass, Morales, the tight end, down the hash marks, and he's free. Goodbye, touchdown. Kamari Morales on a 3rd and long takes it in from 55 yards out, and Drake May again very poised in the pocket.
Looked fantastic. They tried to bring a little bit of pressure to Drake May's right, but it was picked up, and he remained calm in the pocket and then just threaded the needle in between 2 defenders. And that's the thing, if you're going to play man-to-man, your guy misses the tackle, could be off to the races.
And now Noah Burnett, who hasn't missed a kick this year for Carolina, comes on for the PAT. And he's got it. So Drake May, the reigning ACC Rookie of the Week, Quarterback of the Week. It's a 55-yard hookup with his tight end.
The offense is so far picking up right where it left off here in Atlanta. North Carolina up 7-0.
All right, so we know offense is not the problem with North Carolina. It's what happens when they take the field on the other side of the ball. We'll check back in on that throughout the course of the game. Southern Miss Miami right now over on the ACC Network Plus. Frank Gore Jr. is the running back for the Golden Eagles, the son of the NFL great and former Miami star. Ran for 178 yards a week ago. Let's dip in live to this game, Southern Miss and Miami.
Completely different offenses that Southern Miss runs. They can run their regular spread offense, which we saw in play 1. Then the belly G, which we saw on that last play. They're going to do wing T and wildcat. It's going to be a lot for this Miami defense to handle.
Like as many wrinkles as there are in dirty laundry. Gore. He doesn't have a whole lot of room to run. Give him a yard. Daryl Jackson Jr., the transfer from Maryland. Both these teams, Mark, have a ton of transfers, as so many teams do in Division I football these days. I think maybe even more so for Southern Miss, and we'll get into it. On that defensive side of the football, tons of guys from SEC teams, and Miami as well. You got on that defensive front, Daryl Jackson's former Maryland Terrapin. Akeem Messidor's a former West Virginia Mountaineer. Second down and 9. Fake to Gore. Wilkie tries to throw, and the pass is low. Incomplete, intended for Jacarius Caston.
Yeah, Jacarius Caston had that slant route, deep slant open. You see Wilkie, you want to throw the ball out in front. It was out in front, just a little bit too low. And that's some nerves that you got to shake out, get the ball up, lead your receiver. But 3rd and 9, got that bunch formation at the top of the screen. Miami looks like they're playing man. Let's see if they can pass off those routes.
Wilkie checks the sideline. See if Miami brings pressure here. They're showing 5. And they bring 4. Wilkie throws over the middle, has his receiver complete. That's going to be close to the marker. Caston again. This time the throw is on the mark. And they'll move the chains.
And that was a throw with confidence. You saw it was just a different release. Watch, is a little slip as he's moving forward, but watch this release. It's different. Throws it out there, good ball, picked up the first down. And
all right, so Southern Miss and Miami over on the ACC Network. You can catch that game there right now. Kevin Connor, Sam Acho here in studio. We're counting you down. Going to take you back to Manhattan in just a minute. 3:30 Eastern today on ABC. It's the Johnny Majors Classic, right? Yeah. Tennessee taking on Pitt. That Vols offense under Josh Heupel has been something to watch.
They've been something to watch, especially with Hendon Hooker at quarterback. But the Pitt defense is also something to watch. That defense, even though we know how great their offense was last year, the defense helped carry the team. Guys like Servassier Dennis, guys like Kalijah Kancey and Habakkuk Baldonado getting after the quarterback. That's what they did last week. I think they're going to do it again today.
And they've got a new quarterback there in Keaton Slovis, the USC transfer, who looked pretty good a week ago against West Virginia. We got a fun one coming up in Manhattan, Kansas, Missouri, and Kansas State. Beth Mowins, Kirk Morrison on the call. Sam and I will see you back here at the half.
Well, Missouri and Kansas State have already been fighting the elements a little bit this morning, and now they're ready to get after one another. At Bill Snyder Family Stadium here in Manhattan, Kansas, the Tigers and the Cats both coming in at 1-0 and set to renew a rivalry that's been going on for over 100 years. And now they're back together again after an 11-season hiatus. And they are ready to go as we welcome you to ESPN College Football, presented by Sling TV. And we welcome you to the Big 12 on ESPN. And hi, everybody, and welcome to the Little Apple as we get ready for Missouri and Kansas State. I'm Beth Mowins alongside Kirk Morrison. We've got Stormy Bonatoni down on the field with a weather update coming in just a second. On the field, they're ready to go after a 15-minute delay, and the big story here is, can the Deuce bust loose?
Yeah, we got one side has got Deuce, and the other side has got a Luther. So it's no singing at all today. It's about the rushing attack, and we're going to start with Deuce Vaughn. He's the guy that I can't wait to see. It's All-American just a year ago, but that was all purpose. He says he wants to be one of the best backs in all of FBS this year, and it's how many ways can the Deuce get loose today, Beth? Can he do it on the ground? Can he do it in the receiving game? But anytime number 22 catches the football, touches the football, he seems to find the end zone. Can't wait to see him run today.
One of just 3 returning All-America running backs, 7 straight games with over 100 yards rushing, 8 in a row with a rushing touchdown. The challenge today against a Missouri defense, Kirk, that only gave up 11 yards on the ground a week ago.
Yeah, the stingiest defense in FBS a week ago on the ground. Can they stay disciplined throughout this football game and keep Deuce Vaughn bottled up? That would be the challenge for Blake Baker, the defensive coordinator, and the Missouri Tigers defense.
Let's send it down to the field. Stormy?
Well, let's cue the Stormy with the weather report on the rain jokes while we can. But no, it was a little bit of a different pregame. There were some lightning strikes in the area, forced all of the players to leave the field during warm-ups, and there was a pretty significant downpour for about an hour. So the field is still a little bit slick during the padded warm-up. I didn't really notice any slippage for the players. Eli Drinkwitz, head coach of the Missouri Tigers, told me pregame that they can't just got to control the controllables. There's nothing you can do about the elements. They're going to execute the game plan. We'll see if they can continue to execute that game plan in the second half when we expect another torrential downpour to come through, though, guys.
Yeah, could be some more rain. We saw the temperature drop about 30 degrees overnight. A much different day here today as we get set for the Cats and the Tigers. KSU won the toss. They deferred, so they'll boot it away here. Ty Zentner, their punter, actually handles the kickoff duties. Chris Abrams-Drain is one of the deep men. Both sides started out with a win last week and a tone setter here this afternoon to set up the rest of their month of September for a couple of fan bases that are probably thinking this one is winnable for our side today. And we will get our first look at the Missouri offense under the direction of Brady Cook, the sophomore from St. Louis and lifelong Missouri fan, living the dream.
Yeah, living a dream. And he's got an offense that's got a ton of weapons. So today, Brady Cook has to spread this football around. Point guard, Brady Cook. I'm going to call him point guard today. Let's see if he can dish out a couple of assists to some outstanding skill position players on the outside.
Head coach Eli Drinkwitz also handles the play calling. And the first big test is how do they deal with this 3-3-5 defensive alignment for the Wildcats as Cody Schrader is met right in the middle by the man in the middle, Daniel Green.
Yeah, well, he's the other 22. So there's a 22 on offense, that's Deuce Vaughn. 22 on defense, that's Daniel Green making a play early on for the Wildcat defense, stuffing the run.
Cook will operate out of the gun with Schrader behind him. They'll send Toski Dove in motion. Little play action and on the rollout, Cook Looks downfield and now will tuck it and run with it, and the lunge right there at the finish will get him the first down as he got by Josh Hayes.
Yeah, you mentioned Josh Hayes. He's right there to make the play, but this is the ability of Brady Cook and why they love him as a starting quarterback. He extends the play. That play should have been knocked in the backfield. He extends it, gets to the outside, picks up a first down. Josh Hayes should have had him, but Brady Cook gets to the outside.
Here's a look at Drinkwitz in his third season. Now 6 and 7 a year ago. They have been to bowls in back-to-back seasons. Cook tried to dump it off to Schrader out of the backfield. Incomplete. Austin Moore, the junior from Kansas, they call him the machine because of his consistency was disruptive there.
Yeah, a little consistency, but remember this defensive alignment for the Kansas State Wildcats, right? It's a 3-3-5. They're going to drop 8 defenders and force Brady Cook to find the open window.
Luther Burden, their sensational freshman receiver, goes to the top of your screen. Cook will keep as a flag flies, and he dives for more first down yardage behind a nice Schrader block.
Yeah, I think they may get Schrader on. No, the flag's on the opposite side, but it was a tremendous block by Schrader. I thought they may get him possibly for the holding, or it could be a formation situation here on one side.
James Carter is our referee today.
Defense, number 91, line up in the neutral zone. That penalty is declined. The result of the play is a first down.
Unforced penalty right there. Kansas State on the offsides, but again, early on, the 3-3-5. How does Brady Cook and this offense of Missouri, how do they find a way to get through the cracks in the run game?
Cook will try to find an edge, and he won't get one. That was Hayes, the transfer from Virginia. How about 4 transfers in the starting secondary today for K-State?
Yeah, I remember talking all week to Coach Klanderman, the defensive coordinator. I said, well, if I was a transfer, I could probably start at K-State because that is a whole revamped secondary. And that time, Josh Hayes, remember, missed the tackle earlier. That time, outside in, makes the play on Cook.
Trips left. It's now Elijah Young in the backfield on 2nd and 8.
We still haven't seen a touch from Luther Burden. I think this is the opportunity to get him involved in this Missouri offense.
Cook and a flag and a procedure penalty coming up here. Perhaps the noise bothersome.
False start. Offense, number 51, 5-yard penalty. Remains second down.
Well, they call 51, but it could have been the entire offensive line. Everybody moved except the center. He didn't snap the football. So everybody's probably saying, hey, if we're going on one, we got to go on one. So a penalty on Kansas State that moved it up 5 yards, and then Missouri gives it right back a couple plays later, now moving it back.
On 2nd and 13, the spin by Young gets him out close to midfield. Khalid Duke, who gets the start at one of the linebacker spots today, made the hit after a gain of 5. It's 3rd down.
Well, I'm a little surprised right now with the Missouri offense. Luther Burden is a guy who needs to touch the ball at least every 4 to 5 plays. He has not seen the football just yet. It's been all on the ground. And Brady Cook, and this is where he has to find the open guy. 3-3-5. They're going to drop 8. Can Cook find him?
He'll be down at the bottom of your screen. Looks like some man coverage out there for Burden. Blitz coming up the middle, and the pass out to the edge is going to be close. Looks like it's about a yard short for Barrett Bannister. And it will be 4th and 1. The offense remains as Cook checks to the sideline.
Tremendous tackle there by Colby Savage. Keeping it just shy, forcing this 4th down early on. The Tigers going on the offense. Unbalanced formation. Wow.
5 on the play clock, and Eli Huggins moves on the defensive front.
And I don't know if they were going to call it, Beth. I think they were probably going to call timeout, but they got the Wildcats to jump.
Yep.
Unforced error. That's a free 5 yards.
Offside. Defense, number 92 with contact, 5-yard penalty, results in a first down.
That'll move the chains.
And this is something as a former defensive player, you know they're going with the hard count. You know they're going with the hard count. That time, Huggins, I've always said, how can you be right over the ball and still go offside? You wait till the ball moves, right? That time, a mistake there by Huggins, first down for the Tigers.
Keeps the drive alive. Here is the 9th play. They'll go 4 wide receivers, and our first look at Nathaniel Peat in the backfield. The transfer from Stanford off of 2 missed tackles, and the whirling dervish down to the 30-yard line. He picks up 8 after a couple of K-State misses.
More direct runs from the Tigers. I think this is how they're going to get some push on that defensive front of the Wildcats. It's downhill runs, not to the outside, not the sweeps, reverses, the downhill runs. That time Pete picking up some big yards on first down.
Second and a couple.
I think this is where a shot you could take at the end zone. You won first down, maybe take a shot here, 2nd and 2.
Burden to the top of your screen. Cook calls his own number, goes airborne and gets drilled by Daniel Green.
Wow.
Brady Cook a little dangerous right there.
Yeah, but Kobe Savage is the one that made the play, number 2, the strong safety. He comes flying up from his safety position. He doesn't make the play, but he forced Cook to have to cut back, and you always got to have 2 or 3 buddies behind you. You see that corralling defense of the Wildcats.
6-0 lineman here on 3rd and short. Pete caught in the backfield, and he will not even get back to the line of scrimmage. It was Austin Moore around the ankles, and a loss of 2, and it's 4th down.
I'm not sure if it was a blitz or not, but Austin Moore, he just saw open space. As a linebacker, you're taught this. You see space, you run space. And watch 41 right in your living room. Go in there, make the play. That's a tackle for loss. Good job by the Wildcats defense finding a way to hold on 3rd down.
Harrison Mevis, the preseason All-American kicker, coming on. The thicker kicker from 49 yards. And he's got it. Points on the board. The first possession for Mizzou, and a 3-0 lead. Helped by an offsides on the K-State defense. And then a 49-yard field goal for Harrison Mevis. They had 4 different guys carry the football on that drive, but noteworthy, Kirk, the fact that Luther Burden did not have a touch.
Yeah.
They went a lot of jumbo package there and kept it on the ground. Sean Ketting to kick it away. Malik Knowles, very good punt and kick returners for K-State with he and Phillip Brooks. And Knowles has an alley up the middle, and he'll get it out to the 25. The punter, Ketting, who handles their kickoff duties, made the play after a 20-yard return. As we welcome in Adrian Martinez, the senior out of Fresno, California, and the transfer from Nebraska, making his 2nd start.
Yeah, and everybody wants to see Adrian Martinez throw the football. Last week, only 53 yards in the air, and everybody says, wait. This is who transferred in. We're expecting the ball to be thrown down the field. I think we'll see a lot more opportunities today than we saw last week versus South Dakota.
A lot of passing yards, but also turnovers over the course of his time at Nebraska. He comes on, of course, to replace Skylar Thompson, who has moved on to the NFL after years of success here in Manhattan. And they will run it with Deuce Vaughn. He was an all-purpose All-American. He had one of 3 returning All-American running backs that have come back to college football this season.
It's going to be about building the wall for Missouri defensively. Jaden Jernigan did a good job on that last play, but they want to be stout in the middle of that defense, not allow Deuce to break through.
Over 1,400 yards rushing, nearly 500 receiving, and 22 touchdowns a year ago. And the pass completed to their other big weapon, Malik Knowles, on the outside, and a gain of 8 for a first down.
Love the ball placement there, right? outside, receiver goes down and gets it, not in the way of the defender. That's a nice ball placement from Adrian Martinez, and already you're seeing run first, second, get the ball outside quickly.
2 tight end set for K-State. Got a win over South Dakota a week ago, 34-0, nearly 300 yards rushing as Martinez keeps and picks up a couple. That was the most on the ground for K-State in 3 years. And now a much bigger test here this afternoon against an SEC foe. Coaching staff has talked about his maturity, his confidence, an opportunity to sort of reset his career arc here with Kansas State. Here he is on the rollout, tries to drop it over the top to Brooks, who made the catch. Did he stay in bounds? And the officials will get together. Initially they say yes he did, and now they say no he didn't.
Well, they may take another look at that one, but that play doesn't happen if it's not for 22 Deuce Vaughn. We always talk about Deuce Vaughn, the runner, the receiver out of the backfield, but I want you to watch number 22 stick his face in there. Comes in there and makes a play. Get a replay on that last. Was he in? Was the foot down? I think the replay will take a look at that one. But Deuce Vaughn with an outstanding block that just allowed a little bit of time for Adrian Martinez to get to the outside and make a play.
They will not look at it. 3rd down and 8. Four-man pressure coming. Martinez stepping up, slings it across the middle, caught in Missouri territory. Malik Knowles finds a seam for 18 yards.
Nice job by Martinez, staying patient, step up in the pocket, find to the inside. It's a nice job by Martinez, staying patient with the passing game.
Carry up the middle for Deuce Vaughn. This is something they were talking about this week when you asked Kirk. They'd like to get some more plays.
It's all
and
about
a little more tempo.
Yeah, tempo. Last year, they averaged 57 plays, one of the worst in all of FBS. They wanted more plays, and that's what Colin Klein, the new offensive coordinator, or first-year offensive coordinator, I should say, they took the interim tag off. He is the guy, and it's about plays, tempo, no huddle.
Second down and 7. They check to the side. Vaughn gets the carry and picks up a few more inside the 40, wrapped up by Martez Manuel, senior from Columbia. And it's going to bring up a 3rd down and 4.
I think this is 4-down territory, too, for the Wildcats. So if they don't get it here, I expect them to go for it on 4th down. So I possibly may see a shot down the field here as Colin Klein making one of the calls here.
Former star quarterback here.
If he gets
his 6th year as an assistant and his 1st as the OC.
He's got single high safety. Does he take a shot at the end zone?
Martinez bothered, runs away from it, and scampers for the 1st down. Nice block from Cade Warner to get him a little bit of a seam and some daylight.
Well, is he Martinez or is he Houdini, right? Now you see me, now you don't. Little John Cena there, just goes out the back door. He keeps his eyes down the field and boom, you find an opening, he gets to the outside. That overcommitting Missouri defense, they got to make sure they keep eyes on number 9.
Different formation again, now 3 guys in the backfield with Martinez. A couple of tight ends and Deuce. And Deuce will follow them, try to bounce down inside the 30. Let's check in with Stormy.
Well, you mentioned the more up-tempo pace of play for Kansas State. I asked Deuce Vaughn, hey, what's Adrian Martinez like in the huddle? The first thing he said out of his mouth, he said, well, we don't huddle as much as we did last year. But even on the ball, he said there's a sense of calm, of security. We're going fast, but he's giving out calls like he has all the time in the world. He's been really impressed with Adrian Martinez.
Yeah, who's already developed a good relationship with Colin Klein and the offensive returnees. Here's the 10th play of their drive that started back on the 25. Both sides with a strong possession to start. And a pass inside the 10. Brooks down inside the 5. And he rolls down to the 1-yard line. Joseph Charleston stopped the touchdown. But it's first and goal and a gain of 28.
Man, as they go hurry up, just a nice play. They get everybody going one way, and you think that the quarterback Martinez is going to run, stop, pops, and finds the open wide receiver as the Wildcats quickly on the ball.
Have the Tigers on their heels right here. Vaughn met and then bounces in for the touchdown. Impressive opener for K-State, and they'll take the lead.
You wanted Martinez, you got Martinez, right? Nice drive by him, getting the ball down the field, had 3 completions, the big one to set it up, and you get down in there, you let Deuce do the rest. Nice surge by that offensive line near the goal line.
Chris Tennant on for the extra point, and it's good. 11 plays, 75 yards in just over 5 minutes to grab the lead.
Well, sometimes they say linemen don't lie, but they lie. Martinez with a completion, and you get down by the end zone. Here we go, number 1 for the Deuce, getting loose.
Is presented by Sling, the TV you love for a price you'll love.
Head coach Chris Kleiman told us Colin Klein's the most popular guy in town. Then he got into the Ring of Honor this year. Their legendary quarterback now calling the shots, literally, as their new first-year offensive coordinator in his return to K-State. There he is on the Ring of Honor. Might have some more Colin highlights later on. He was the quarterback the last time these two teams played back in 2011. So their first meeting since then, and a rivalry that dates back to 1913. K-State, the Deuce with a score and a 7-3 lead.
Studio update, no Jackson Smith-Njigba today with a hamstring injury, Sam, but they do have this guy.
Marvin Harrison Jr. A lot of the young receivers are going to have to step up this game without Jackson Smith-Njigba. Marvin Harrison Jr. just did it.
Travion Henderson has a touchdown run. Meantime, Bama, Texas, and Austin. What happens on this Jace McClellan run?
So in defense, they say no edges, you have no defense. There was no edge on this defense, but Jace McClellan has true track speed.
All the way to the house. On campus, great game. 10-3, Bama. Beth?
Thank you very much, guys. 7-3 our score here. K-State with the lead over Missouri. And out of the timeout, we've got a called timeout. 30 seconds for Missouri, and Eli Drinkwitz wants to talk with his young quarterback, Brady Cook. That'll give us a chance to remind everybody our Saturday night football game presented by Capital One. They're calling it a Pac-12 statement game, Kurt. Probably more so for USC at this point, but the Lincoln Riley era is underway. It's the 100th matchup. USC-Stanford tonight, 7:30 Eastern on ABC.
Yeah, little Caleb Williams. I watched USC last week. They look like a really good football team, and you add in some of those guys.
There's LA star power right there.
I mean, it's only one football, but Travis Dye, we saw him at Oregon last year and what he was able to do. And Jordan Addison, the Blitnikoff winner of a year ago.
Yeah, transferred in from Pittsburgh. All 3 of those guys transferring in. Good penetration by that defense. Mookie Cooper, the Ohio State transfer, had nowhere to go. Josh Hayes keeps making plays.
Well, earlier Josh Hayes got juked a little bit, right? And the ball went to the outside. Watch number 1. He's right here, and he gets to the outside. When he gets to the outside, he turns the football back. That's what you're taught. You aim for the outside leg. That way, if you miss, you got your buddies coming, but he got him down. Josh Hayes, 2 outstanding plays.
Loss of 4. Luther Burden to the bottom of your screen, still without a touch today. Cook looks away from him, and it's another negative yardage play for the K-State defense. Eli Huggins wraps up Elijah Young.
Eli felt that the offensive line wasn't blocking him properly. He's been fighting up front, and then all of a sudden, the offensive lineman lets you go. He redirects, makes it another play in the backfield. 3rd and long for the Missouri Tigers.
First 2 plays, they go 8 yards the wrong way.
And still no Luther Burden with the touch.
Against a 3-man pressure, Burden, his first target, and he drops it. Did not keep the eyes on the prize, and it's 4th down.
Yeah, that's easy for the defense. Again, I talked about the 3-3-5. They're going to try to bring pressure with just a 3-man front. They're going to drop 8, and they're going to force Brady Cook to have to stare it down, and they're going to rally to Luther Burden underneath. But when you drop it, makes it a lot easier for the defense to get off the field.
Sean Ketting with the end zone to his back. Phillip Brooks, an All-American punt returner 2 seasons ago with 2 returns for touchdowns in 2020. High and short and out of bounds. And K-State may have this across the 50-yard line. Let's see where they spot it. And they will begin in Tiger territory. And a 32-yard punt. You're going to give Deuce Vaughn a short field right here.
And that's what you don't want to do, is give Deuce Vaughn a short field, because he knows where the end zone is, but he's quickly turning to one of the best backs that Kansas State probably has ever seen, and that's high praise there, Beth.
None other than Darren Sproles. They're about the same size. Most consecutive games with 100 yards. Sproles with 10, and Vaughn active with 7 coming in today. Of course, Darren went on to a remarkable career in the NFL as well. The jet sweep for Brooks. They have picked up a couple of, you know, Darren Sproles quite well.
Yeah, I think he got me drafted, by the way. Playing against him, good friends of mine, went to the Senior Bowl. I had to guard Darren Sproles one-on-one. He had 1 catch. I had 2 knockdowns. And so to me, my 2 knockdowns probably got me drafted, because I covered one of the best backs in FBS and Darren Sproles at the time.
Yeah, Missouri talked about gap integrity, because not only is Sproles so nimble, but he's hard to see, hard to find back there at that size. Cade Warner has the catch. Stormy?
Deuce Vaughn told me the first time that he ever actually spoke to Darren Sproles, he had to keep it inside to try to play it as cool as possible, that he didn't totally fangirl, but said that guy is the blueprint. He has done everything he wants to do at K-State and at the next level, and especially to know that somebody at his size was historically great. He's been such a big influence. They've developed a good relationship with each other as well. Said he's a sounding board, a great voice for him to learn from.
And that 1-yard touchdown, now 9 straight games rushing for a score. Now he's chasing his OC, Colin Klein, who did that 12 games in a row. On 3rd down, Martinez looking for Sproles out of the backfield, incomplete. And it's 4th down. Chad Bailey was blanketing Deuce.
Yes, nice job by Bailey. He stayed in the hip pocket. But the way that this offense is rolling, and this offense of the Wildcats is going to stay on the field. They feel confident in the way they do it. And again, remember, on the opposite side, Missouri tried to draw Kansas State offside. Let's see if the Wildcats try to do the same thing here, or do they truly go for it on 4th down?
Two tight ends in the game. They were 6th best in the country at this a year ago. Martinez all the way, calls his own number, 1st down.
This is just a big boy run on 4th down. Remember, the right guard, Taylor Portier, out for the season. So Hadley Panzer is filling in on the right side. And watch the surge of that offensive line. They just get hat on hat, get great combination, great pulls. And Martinez just sticks his head down, knows where the marker is, and gets the 1st down, keeps the drive alive.
Yeah, Panzer, the sophomore, stepping in. He's got some senior leadership around him. It's a solid offensive line led by Connor Beebe. Play action. Missouri defense pushing that line back, but time for Martinez, and Brooks dropped it.
That goes in the drop column. It's, again, Martinez buying time, extending the play, keeps the plays alive, and he allowed that play to develop. He hits Brooks right where he needs to. That's just a drop. And that's what Blake Baker talked about. Our guys, we're going to have to stay on our coverage. Not only do we keep eyes on Martinez, but we have to keep these guys, these wide receivers in our hip pockets.
They gave up 3 explosive plays for touchdowns a week ago. That was one of the big jobs other than trying to stop the run as Vaughn picks up another first down. Gain of 11.
We talked about it on the way over here to the game, right, Beth? The patience of Deuce Vaughn. How he waits and allows his offensive lineman to get in front. And then once he sees the crease, he goes 0 to 100 real quick. And we saw it again there, getting the first down.
Maybe able to get in a play or two here to close out the first quarter. More of Vaughn. Good cutback. Found a crease down to the 20. And they are forcing the defensive backs to make the tackles on Vaughn right now as he gets to the second and third level.
Yeah, Hayden Gillum, number 55, the center, trying to say, I'm an All-American. Follow me, young fella. Follow me, Vaughn.
That'll take care of the first quarter, 7-3, K-State. The Deuce has been loose a little bit. 32 yards and a score through the first quarter. Continue to darken here in Manhattan. More rain is on the way, but we're still going to play on, at least for now, as we start the second quarter. K-State with the 7-3 lead. And they are, well, nose of the football right now on the edge of the red zone for Adrian Martinez and Deuce Vaughn in the backfield alongside of him. Vaughn will get the call, and he'll pick up a few as we welcome you back to ESPN College Football, presented by Sling TV. And it's a red zone call here for the Cats.
And everything seems to be 4-down territory, right? It's a 3rd-and-1 situation. I wouldn't be surprised, again, the way that Colin Klein has called this game so far, that they try to take some shots at the end zone, loosen up this defense of Missouri's that so far right now seems to be on its heels by the way that the offensive line has been blocking up front for Kansas State.
3rd down and 1. Trips to the left. Warner is the motion man, and the receiver looks to throw it. Now will keep it and try and run for it, and he'll get it. They wanted the throwback to Vaughn, but he had a defender right there with him.
It's a good job by Jalen Carlos, number 1, to call him JC, just doing his job. Saw that the Deuce was leaking out, and it's like, hey, why is Deuce Vaughn leaking out by himself? It was a great job by the safety seeing it. And there goes the great Hall of Famer Kurt Warner of the
he thought his son was about to QB it right here.
His son was trying to get in on the action. But a tremendous job there of finding where the sticks are and picking up the first down by Caden Warner.
Fresh set of downs. Martinez keeps all the way. Vaughn running in front with the block to spring him. And a 16-yard touchdown for Adrian Martinez. Beebe and Gillum blew open a big hole off that left side.
Beth, they told me this was an old school Big 12 matchup, right? 2 old rivalries. Well, that's about as old school as you get. That was student body left. That's getting about 2 or 3 guys in front. Offensive lineman Deuce Vaughn leading the way, and Adrian Martinez, he knows where the end zone is. This is why he came to Kansas State, for this reason. Opportunities like this.
10 plays, 49 yards in 4.5 minutes. And Martinez with the rushing TD, his second in the purple jersey for the Wildcats in 2 weeks. My student sections across the country are competing to be the Live My Student Section of the Year all season long. Last week, 50,000 on hand for a sellout crowd. They were expecting that again today. Inclement weather may have kept a few folks away as the rain starts again. Had a lot of it pregame, and now the precipitation is back. Out across the 20 on the return, Abrams drain. And let's check into the studio with Kevin Connors.
Yeah, Beth, terrific start for Quinn Ewers, Bama, Texas, Sam Acho until this.
Yeah, big hit by Dallas Turner. Quinn Ewers would go down. We're not sure of his status. Hudson Card, the backup, would come in after this play.
And Texas would tie it behind their Heisman Trophy candidate, Bijan Robinson.
Bijan Robinson found the edge. Goal line play. Great block by actually a defensive tackle. Lined up at fullback. Byron Murphy. End zone touchdown.
All tied at 10, Beth.
Thank you very much, guys. A very balanced attack so far for Kansas State. 66 yards rushing, 58 yards passing. And their offense has been the story here through the first quarter into the second, looking for Luther Burden, the #1 ranked wide receiver recruit in this year's class, and just couldn't get to it.
Well, they need to get him touches. And right now, you're seeing Brady Cook early pressing a little bit. He's got -2 yards passing right now, Beth, for Brady Cook. But they need to get Luther Burden the football, whether it's the end around. It's an easy play to get him going.
Could have gone OU, Alabama, Georgia, and he chose Missouri from the St. Louis area. Cook checks downfield and takes another hit as he gets out across the 25. Huggins and Moore converging after a 4-yard pickup. It's third down.
Again, what are you seeing? 3-3-5. So you've got 3 guys rushing. They add 1 extra player, so really it's just a 4-man rush. And watch Cook trying to find the open window. All the windows are closed. The Kansas State defense doing a good job.
Third and 6. Burden to the bottom of your screen. Cook looking the other way. Now Luther crossing underneath, but Cook busy scrambling, and he will not get the yardage. Eli Huggins kept him short. It's 4th down.
Well, it's the first time we called Felix Anyadike Uzama all day. He's the outside rusher, number 91 for Kansas State. He's the first-round pick, a lot of people think. He comes off the edge, and by him coming off the edge, what did it do? It made Brady Cook have to step up, and that clock in his head sped up. Had to find a way to get the ball off, and that's a terrific job again by the Kansas State defense.
Last week, Pro Football Focus had Felix as their #1 edge rusher in all of college football.
You don't have to watch the tape long to see number 91 making an impact.
Sean Ketting to punt from inside his 20. Brooks back around his own 20. Whistles pre-snap. Delay of game.
5-yard penalty. 4th down.
Yeah, these are the unforced errors. We didn't see this last week for Missouri. They played a pretty clean game versus Louisiana Tech. And now on the road, a little bit different environment. Seen a couple mistakes so far.
Now you get a sense of just how hard the rain has started to come down here. It's going to be another short punt and a fair catch by Brooks out across the 25. And that's where K-State will take over with the 14-3 lead early in this second quarter.
College football, presented by Sling TV, is brought to you by Buffalo Wild Wings, to the greatest of all times.
Couple of touches and a couple of scores for the Kansas State offense here in the first half. Long, sustained drives under the direction of Adrian Martinez. And he has the advantage right now in that quarterback comparison.
Yeah, absolutely. Brady Cook versus Adrian Martinez. But I want you to look at this. -2. That's right, -2 yards passing for Brady Cook. And I know he's got a couple drops in there by receivers. But earlier on, Adrian Martinez, more yards this week passing than he had all of last week in just 1 quarter.
He's got the 16-yard rushing touchdown. Deuce Vaughn has also run for a score. Both of their drives, double-digit plays. They have been able to move at will. Vaughn out to the 30, and he'll pick up 3 more. He's been in on every play so far. Realish George with the stop. The one thing that the Tigers do have is a lot of depth along their front line. That's where all their transfers are. 5 guys have transferred in. Martinez gets the edge and a first down out across the 40. Gains 13 more.
Yeah, all the attention's on Deuce, right? Why would it? Why, it should be. Where's number 22? You keep your eyes on 22, but you can't forget about number 9. Just looks at the linebackers. Everybody's following Deuce, and the next thing you know, it's Adrian Martinez on the outside.
He's the leading rusher now with 40 yards today. Stays in the pocket, and a little high for Vaughn coming out of the backfield. Not only the benefit of working with Colin Klein, the former QB great here at K-State, but also through Chris Kleiman, the North Dakota State connections to guys like Carson Wentz and Trey Lance. A lot of terrific tape for Martinez to check out.
I think you can probably call Chris Kleiman the quarterback whisperer. He's been around some good ones when he was at North Dakota State. Now bringing that same quarterback acumen to Kansas State.
10 years as a head coach and now his 4th season here. Following in the footsteps of the legendary Coach Snyder. And one thing that Bill always made sure of, right, that Kleiman is also a disciple of ball control, ball security, discipline, and outstanding special teams play.
Yeah.
They've gotten all of that under Kleiman as well.
Yeah, he's part special teams coach as well. So he knows how important all phases of the game are. That's why one of the best special teams in all of college football, Kansas State.
He's got those national championship rings to boot. 3rd down and 7 here. And they'll sweep it with Brooks, trying to get around the edge. And he looks to be a yard short, but there is a flag on the play coming in behind the play.
I wonder if they get Cade Warner on the outside. It's always difficult on the outside, those blocks in space.
Holding. Offense, number 85. 10-yard penalty from the previous spot. Repeat 3rd down.
That's always difficult for the wide receiver. He never knows what the running back's going to do. Cade Warner, he's out there in space. And so you don't know if the running back, watch the right side of your screen, will the running back cut inside? Will he go outside? You're kind of in a no man's land. You're just trying to keep and hold your block. That time, the official standing right there through the flag.
That'll set them back to the 36, but they will get another 3rd down shot here.
But the way my defense is playing, I'm not sure if Colin Klein wants to put this ball in the air. You talk about probably a check down, maybe a draw here. Missouri's done a good job this series of trying to slow down this Wildcat attack.
Thought about the pass, now looking to run, and he will just take a slide and hand it off to the punter here on 4th down.
They won the series, and that's okay, because if you think about it, if you would put the ball in the air, you put it in harm's way, and that's the one thing we're trying to cut down when you talk about Adrian Martinez, right? Colin Klein said it. We don't need the turnovers. So keep it safe here. Allow that defense for Kansas State to get back on the field and make some plays.
Abrams Drain back at his own 25. Ty Zentner's kick is away. Abrams will let that one bounce. Down at the 21-yard line after a 43-yard punt. 8:48 to go in the half. Missouri football when we come back. Time to check out the biggest games of the weekend with our weekend menu brought to you by Crumble Cookies. Coming up next here on ESPN2, Texas A&M and App State. Good one in the SEC tonight, Kentucky and the Florida Gators. How about Baylor and BYU? Another rank-on-rank matchup coming up tonight as the Cougars get set to join the Big 12 in a year or so. And more good penetration. The defense right now is getting into the backfield repeatedly for K-State.
Eke Boydo, wow. You got guys just flying up on the outside, safeties, corners, everybody's buying in for this Kansas State. I want you to watch I think it was Julius Brents it was over there. That's what it was, 23 flying up. I mean, I just see 20 numbers, 22, 25, 23. Guys just making plays. Suffocating defense so far by the Wildcats.
Only 2 yards per carry in this first half, or per touch, I should say, for Missouri. And another negative play. Josh Hayes again. A loss of 3, and it's 3rd down.
Can you say it again one more time? Josh Hayes, right? On the tackle. We've seen it over and over. He's been one of the best perimeter tacklers I've seen in college football. Everything to the outside, his patience, and he keeps the ball carrier on the inside. That's a tremendous job there by Hayes.
4th negative play already of this half, as K-State has held Missouri to just 40 total yards. And now the officials are getting together because the weather has become an issue.
There will be a weather delay.
And there is lightning in the area, which means a weather delay of at least 30 minutes here in Manhattan. The teams will head to the locker room. They will probably encourage the fans to seek shelter. So play has been suspended due to inclement weather, and a 14-3 Kansas State lead over Missouri. 7:44 to go in the first half.
All right, and Beth, we figured that might be the case here. We'll keep you posted on things in Manhattan, Kansas. Meantime, North Carolina's got a couple of touchdown passes and 1 touchdown run from Drake May. 21-3 lead in Atlanta on Georgia State. Clay Matvick, Rocky Boyman on the call.
The yard line. Darren Granger, his running ability is a big reason he won the job last year.
Yeah, nowhere to go with the football, so I think that was the best decision. Take off. It's what he does well.
20-yard run for Granger as he's got Georgia State inside the red zone. And now he wants to throw, throws it short, has his tight end. And that is caught just inside the 15-yard line. That's a 3-yard pickup.
Nice job by Cameron Kelly. Safety coming up. Making a tackle.
Amon Green with that catch. 2nd down and 7. Inside the 10, it's Williams. And now here's Georgia State knocking on the door as we're going to have a 3rd down and short.
And I've talked about these linebackers and how well they're playing, fast, speed, but this area of the field, Clad, we're like to feel their presence a little more. Let's push those guys back.
Timeout, North Carolina.
Now Gene Chizik wants a timeout as his defense is backed up. Third down and 1 for the Panthers, down 21-3 when we come back to Atlanta.
And here's Beth Mowins.
Thank you very much, Kevin. Well, about an hour or so, the time of the delay here before we get set to get things rolling again. 7:44 to go in the first half, and a 14-3 lead for K-State over Missouri. And we welcome you back to Manhattan. The rain subsiding, so we're going to try and give this a go. Beth Mowins along with Kirk Morrison and Stormy Bonatoni. She'll have an update for us in just a second. But so far, it's been all K-State offensively, led by Deuce Vaughn and Adrian Martinez.
Well, they wanted to establish Deuce Vaughn early on, and that's exactly what this Wildcat offense was able to do. They have the better offensive line, and they proved it early in the first half. Getting blockers in front and the patience of Deuce Vaughn, being able to find the crease, find the opening, get to the outside, get to the inside, but more importantly, smelling the end zone like he's done throughout his career at Kansas State. But on the other side, when you're thinking about the quarterback, Adrian Martinez, last week people said, hey, he only had 53 yards throwing throughout the game. Well, he's already surpassed that in the first half. 61 yards through the air. But then it's what he does best. That's utilize his legs, getting to the outside, finding the end zone. It's been the Martinez and Vaughn show in the first half.
All right, we will get back down to the field now. It's Missouri football on a 3rd down and 13. Their offense has struggled to get anything going against this K-State defense, and they will have to bring the punting unit on. Felix Onyedike-Uzomah makes the play on Brady Cook.
And so how do you get back up for this game, right? You've been in the locker room for a while, Beth. You've been sort of just relaxing. Now you got to get the energy back up. Right now, all the momentum is on the Kansas State side. How does Missouri get going in this restart of the first half?
We have been told, by the way, that they have decided not to just play through. So we are expecting that they will take a full halftime at the conclusion of this second quarter, even though they've been undercover for a good hour or so. Brooks breaks a tackle, looking for the sideline, and he's got it. Phillip Brooks looking for his third career punt return touchdown, and he's got it. What a way to restart it for the Wildcats. 75-yard touchdown return.
There's two things that a returner has to always do. Number one, make the first guy miss. Check. And then find the wall. Check. That's what Phillip Brooks does. Makes the first guy miss. He finds the wall. Return left. And then it just turns into a track meet. And not a lot of people in college football can stop Phillip Brooks racing to the end zone.
And the extra point, no good. I believe it was Isaiah McGuire who got a hand on it for Missouri. So it will remain 20-3, and they're going to tack on an extra yard on that return for Phillip Brooks. Officially 76 yards on the restart for K-State.
Well, I just talked about momentum, and it was already on the Kansas State side to start again the restart of this first half. And then the punt return for a touchdown. Missouri on the other side, they got to figure it out. Here again, the block, extra point. The operation not there. I know Coach Kleiman's not happy about that one. But this was an area of concern for Missouri coming into this game. You talked about Adrian Martinez already. You talked about Deuce Vaughn, but it was the special teams that they really were worried about. And they punted it to Phillip Brooks and already making an impact.
Well, Kansas State may want to reconsider stopping for halftime and just play through.
They better do something.
They have had all the momentum here in the first half. Chris Abrams-Drain awaits the kickoff. This one's returnable from just inside the 10. And he will get out across the 15, and that's it. Good coverage for K-State and Seth Porter. And let's check in with Stormy Buonantony.
Well, just logistically, guys, before the team came back out here onto the field, they were all stuck in the locker rooms, laid down, just like Kirk was saying. How do you get the energy back up? Well, during the 10-minute warm-up, a lot of these guys, hands on chest, pumping each other up, and nothing will do it quite as good as a special teams play like that. And if you're looking for any energy, look no further than the K-State student section, who stayed out here in the stands the entire time that we were in the delay, doing chants, hyping everybody up. As far as the field of play goes, yes, it is a little bit slick, but in talking to the stadium operations folks, the drainage here is fantastic. The field should be great.
Yeah, that K-State student section was my entertainment during a delay.
On a 1st and 10, and yet again, the K-State defense, I think that's the 5th negative yardage play for that defense here in the first half.
Yeah, Robert Hintz II. Nice job. He beats the interior of that offensive line and gets right to the running back. Watch number 15 right in the middle. He just sneaks through, looking real slim there, right? For a 6'2", 282-pound senior, gets skinny, makes a play.
They have been dominant in the trenches. Just 44 yards of total offense for the Tigers here this afternoon. Cook will keep checking downfield, nowhere to go. And he'll drop it off to Pete, who spins his way out across the 20.
I'm still scratching my head so far because you've got a 5-star recruit in Luther Burden, and you haven't given him the football in an easy way, whether it's an end around, a handoff. Right now, Kansas State doing a good job of keeping Luther Burden bottled up as an outside receiver. I got to figure out if I'm Eli Drinkowitz, getting him an early touch, get this offense sort of upstart.
He's only got one touch, and that was a dropped target so far in this first half. Here's 3rd and 7. And both sides pointing at each other. Nate Matlack and Zeke Powell. You did it. No, you did it.
Yeah, I think they're going to get Matlack on that one.
Outside defense, number 97, in the neutral zone, causing the offensive player to react. 5-yard penalty, 3rd down.
So now a 3rd down and 2 from the 25.
Luther Burden in the slot.
They'll run for it, and they will get it. Nathaniel Peat with the carry. And their 4th first down of the ball game. That's it. Harrison Mevis, a 49-yard field goal on their first possession, their lone scoring drive today. Cook flushed, and down he goes. Robert Hentz with the sack. And Felix, I think, is the guy that cleaned it up.
Yeah. Again, it's just a 3-man rush. But the guy that I want you to keep is just the guy up top. We talked about him earlier, Felix Anyudike-Uzomah. That clock in the mind, in the head of Brady Cook. He's got to get rid of the football, especially with number 91 bearing down along with Robert Hentz.
Just 4 for 7, 4 yards passing for Missouri. Peat tries to get to the outside and is dragged down by Echo Boydo. And here comes another 3rd down.
Yeah, you mentioned it, 3rd down. Where's Luther Burden? I don't want to keep harping on it, but this is a guy who's electric with the football. I just want to get it into his hands. Last week we saw him in the Wildcat a couple of different times. That's how he got a rushing touchdown last week, and we haven't seen that Wildcat sort of play at all so far in this game.
It's a Missouri offense that rushed for over 300 yards last week against Louisiana Tech. Now they'll go to the air, and it's caught on the deflection. Tosky Dove able to haul it in around midfield.
Yeah, Josh Hayes, the free safety, he's putting his hands on his head because he had a sure interception. Outstanding job going outside in. Watch the left side of your screen. You'll see Hayes flash right in front. He's there. That should have been an interception. But yet the concentration by Dove to call that pass in for the first down.
19 yards, that's their biggest play of the day. Peat picks up a couple on the ground. Khalid Duke leading the charge.
That's a big play there for Missouri. They needed something. And I know you got a little lucky there. That ball's tipped, could have been intercepted. But now they have to make something happen here. They've crossed the 50-yard line. They have to get points.
For just the 2nd time today, by the way.
I was wondering if it was the first time because it hadn't been on that side much at all.
Dove is the motion man. Cook. And there is a catch for Burden. And his first opportunity, but it's cut short quickly by Omar Daniels.
Yeah, I think that's sort of the game plan for Kansas State. Again, they're going to drop 8 and force Brady Cook to drop the ball off and then come up and tackle. So you let him catch it, but then you got to tattoo him when you get there. A nice hard tackle of Burden when he caught the football.
2 for 7 on 3rd downs today for Mizzou.
No Anyudike on this play for Kansas State.
Cook out of the empty set, incomplete. Looked like Dove had hands on it, and it's 4th down.
Now we call those alligator arms a little bit, right? When you feel the defense bearing down on you. I think Dove that time was more worried about the hit possibly from the safety than looking that football in. That's a drop. So as much as we talked about Brady Cook and his decision-making throwing the football, receivers have to help the quarterback out.
All right, Phillip Brooks, who has a 76-yard punt return, is back inside his own 10. Let's see if Sean Ketting even gives him a chance. 4th straight time they've had to punt the football away, and Brooks with the fair catch at the 11. Hey, you can kick off your Week 1 NFL Sunday at 10 a.m. Eastern with the Countdown Crew on ESPN. Michelle Beisner-Buck will sit down with Dak Prescott ahead of the Cowboys and the Buccaneers this weekend, plus an all-access look at Davante Adams as he gets ready for his Raiders debut against the Chargers. All the early breaking stories, injury updates, and much, much more right up to kickoff tomorrow morning, the opening Sunday of the NFL season.
Well, I know Coach Chris Klieman, he's got a couple of guys he'll have his eye on on Sunday. His former protege while he was at North Dakota State, he recruited Trey Lance, who takes over as the starting quarterback for the San Francisco 49ers, making his debut as the full-time starter in San Francisco as they take on the Bears.
It's going to be a fascinating watch because Trey hasn't played much the last couple of years.
No, not at all.
Now getting his chance with the Niners. Adrian Martinez ran right into Jaden Jernigan there. As they will, are they going to run a 2-minute drill here or just be happy at 20-3 as you check out Trey Lance?
Yeah, recruited to North Dakota State by Chris Klieman. An outstanding career there. We know that Klieman took the job at Kansas State, but I call Coach quarterback whisperer. He was around Carson Wentz, now Trey Lance, and maybe that's the reason why Adrian Martinez came to Kansas State to get some of that quarterback whisperer magic from Coach Klieman.
They will run it with Deuce Vaughn. There does not appear to be any great sense of urgency, so that will allow Missouri to call a timeout and possibly get the ball back here.
Yeah, Missouri's just trying to get points. They need some sort of momentum going in at the, should I call it the second halftime or the first halftime, whatever we want to call it.
Second charge time.
But they need to get some points.
Missouri, 30-second timeout.
Hey, how about the 53rd season of Monday Night Football kicking off with Russell Wilson's return to Seattle as the new quarterback of the Denver Broncos. Joe Buck and Troy Aikman will make their Monday Night Football debut with Lisa Salters. 8 Eastern, 5 Pacific on ABC, ESPN, Deportes, and Plus. Also, don't forget Peyton Eli are back. The Manning brothers on ESPN2.
Russell Wilson returning to Seattle. I wonder how he will be met by the 12s. The 12s, we know, the fan base of the Seattle Seahawks.
Boo Birds, maybe, huh?
Yeah, what do you think? You think Boo Birds? Do they applaud? I mean, there'll probably be a video tribute, right?
Could be, yeah.
But do they boo? Do they cheer? I know I'll be watching on Monday night. Right here.
It might be an initial cheer and then boos after that.
Right.
Is that?
I get you, yeah. But Russell Wilson in orange, I got to get used to it, Beth.
Yeah. Got him a Super Bowl up there, of course, and now joining the Broncos in that quarterback-crazed AFC West this year. They will be fun ones to watch. 3rd down and 8. Martinez, and he'll be a couple yards short. Trajan Jeffcoat got the stop, and it's 4th down.
Nice answer here by the Tigers defense. 3 and out, get a punt, get the ball back to your offense, and hopefully try to get some points before this half ends. And maybe this could be what Brady Cook needs, because sometimes you just need a situation where, look, you just go out there and play street ball almost, right? Yeah. You go play backyard quarterback, you find the open guy, because right now this Wildcat defense has been outstanding, especially within, I think, the numbers.
I think even before that, you're looking for a special teams play, right? Are you setting up? Are you sending the house right here, or are you setting up for a return? I mean, they are out of timeouts now, but they'll have around a minute, a little less than that when they get the ball.
Well, you need a spark. You need a play.
Yes,
so
you do.
Kansas State did it on their side with the return. Now can Missouri sort of return the favor and get into some favorable position?
Especially since they're so deep right here. He's going to be punting. Zentner will from inside the 5. And it is for a return for Abrams Drain, and it's short. And a big boost for K-State, as if they needed another. They'll get the kind roll down to the 29-yard line, a 52-yard punt. And they will leave Missouri with 45 seconds.
Yeah, 2-minute drill now for Missouri. Job well done by the special teams on Kansas State.
Well, they only have 26 yards passing, so I'm not sure what the plan might be. A regroup situation. A first half dominated by Kansas State. Just 80 total yards for the Tigers. Their defense has been terrific. And after the very first drive, they got a field goal. Here's the last 4. Not much doing.
Yeah, it's been just a punt fest. They really haven't got the rushing game going, too. That's where we thought, would they be able to run on this Kansas State defense? And that's what's really, I think, put this offense behind the chains.
Cook delivers. Pete, and they've got to hustle. No timeouts left. They picked up 5 there. Another one for short yardage, but a first down and getting out of bounds is Toski Dove. Clock stops with 23 seconds to go.
Well, they need a chunk play here. You would probably think they need about 25 yards to be in a comfortable field goal range. This is the normal defense for Kansas State, though. They're 3-3-5, so they're going to continue to drop 8, and they're going to allow the underneath catches to keep the clock rolling.
Harrison Mevis is one of the best kickers in college football if they can get him a look. More for short yardage. That's Bannister out of bounds.
So there's 2 things here. Number one, obviously, quarterback can't take a sack. But if you're the offensive line of Missouri, you better put a circle around number 91 of that Kansas State defense. This is where Felix Uzama and Udike Uzama can take over a game.
Working against Javon Foster. Cook keeps the play alive and dives out to the 49.
But you love that because the clock's continuing to run. Now you got to get everybody lined up. This could be the last play right here.
Chooses to spike it. And on 4th down, 2 seconds left. And did Eli just signal Hail Mary?
Yeah, that's all you can do here. I mean, that's that little run there. This is where the quarterback has to remember he can throw the ball away. Precious time went off the clock. I think Brady Cook has to understand where he's at in the field, the situation. If it's not there, throw the football away. Precious seconds wasted off the clock. Now you got 1 play left.
Joe Klanderman and this defense, they were preparing all week for explosive plays or gadget plays against Missouri.
That's false start on
That's Connor Tollison.
False start. Offense, number 55.
So the Kansas State team thinks they're going to run into the locker room, but it was a dead ball foul. Remember, the quarterback spiked the ball, so the clock was dead. There is no 10-second runoff.
And now a timeout running down the sideline was Chris Kleiman for Kansas State at a full sprint.
Full sprint. Whoa.
First charge timeout of the half. Kansas State, 30-second timeout.
He got down the field quick. Yeah, Coach, that's why everybody's on that sideline smiling a little bit. Coach took off running to call that timeout.
Number 3 amongst all active coaches in win percentage. Only Dabo Swinney and Nick Saban with a better win percentage than Chris Kleiman does, now in his 10th season as a head coach. Hey, our featured ESPN Plus college football games coming your way tonight includes a Big 12 tilt, West Virginia and Kansas in Morgantown tonight. Also Central Arkansas and Ole Miss. And the nightcap, Kent State at number 7 Oklahoma. To get ESPN Plus, go to ESPNplus.com or download that ESPN app. Three deep safeties here, all back around the 12-yard line for Kansas State. And what we think will be the final play of the half. Cook, the connection down inside the 40-yard line to Dominic Lovett.
He paid for that one, Beth.
And that'll do it. 20-3 our score at the halftime. And Kansas State will have the football to start the second half as Cook walks off gingerly. Here's the halftime report with Kevin and Sam.
Welcome to the Geico Halftime Report.
Back to ESPN College Football, presented by Sling TV. Rain has subsided. We are set to start the second half. Kansas State with a 20-3 lead over Missouri. They are on the receiving end of this kickoff to open up the third quarter. Malik Knowles is deep. A first half dominated by the Wildcats. They were able to run. They got another special teams touchdown and a short kick to the 30-yard line, so they will not allow for another big return here as we get you caught up on what's been happening so far. Kurt?
I think right now, when you just think about Deuce Vaughn throughout the first half, has been the guy. And the one thing that Missouri came in is that they wanted to stop the run. They only gave up 11 yards rushing a week ago. Well, I'll tell you this, Deuce Vaughn by himself has surpassed that getting into the end zone. But you can't forget about the quarterback, Adrian Martinez. Didn't have a lot of opportunities a week ago, but this week he has been on point, on fire. More yards already than he had all of last week passing. But again, it's been his running ability getting to the end zone. It's been Martinez, it's been Vaughn for this K-State offense.
Over 100 yards total for Martinez in that first half. And here is Adrian on the first play of the second half, and it's complete to Deuce Vaughn for 2 or 3 coming out of the backfield. Brady Cook, who appeared to get hurt on the last play of the first half, the starting quarterback for Missouri, did come out of the locker room. He was warming up, as was the backup, Jack Martinez, but it appeared like Brady was going to be okay. The quarterback situation on the other side as Martinez will work out of the gun once again. There you see they're still working on that right arm of Cook. The patience of Deuce Vaughn, waits for it and gets out across the 40 to the 42. That'll set up a 3rd and short.
Yeah, this is where the Missouri Tigers defense has to really bow their neck, Beth. 3rd down. They got to get off the field. They need more stops. That's what's kept this K-State offense on the field, is being able to convert on 3rd down, but more importantly, Adrian Martinez keeping the drives alive with his legs.
Third down and 2. Sinnott is the motion man. Martinez looked his way and then comes back the other way, and he's got Vaughn on the wheel route inside the 25-yard line, but a flag down, and it may be on Cade Warner again.
Offensive pass interference, Cade Warner.
Offense, number 85, 15-yard penalty. Repeat 3rd down.
Yeah, 85's got to sell it better. Cade Warner's got to sell that route better. That's how Deuce was able to get so wide open, is because Warner, just watch number 85 at the bottom of your screen. He goes, if he just runs the route, he's fine, but it's that right shoulder that dips in there that gets the defender off its path who was guarding Deuce Vaughn. So the way that you actually run that play is a receiver's got to go in and stop and look at the quarterback and force the defender to have to either go underneath or around.
So that'll set him back inside the 30. DJ Giddens comes on for the first time. He's in the backfield, and now they'll motion him out. And they'll throw it to the slot. Phillip Brooks making a play, making guys miss, gets it back out to the 40 and a gain of 13. Knocked down by Carles.
Nice little slip underneath screen there. Had all the action going toward the outside to the perimeter. And then here comes Mr. Brooks coming back underneath. And it turns into a punt return for him almost. Almost found enough for a 1st down.
Missouri defense holds. They force the punt here. Ty Zentner. Abrams Drain back inside the 20. High end over end. Abrams Drain will let it bounce behind him, and it will be downed inside the 5. Terrific punt, 56 yards. Boydo was the guy that tracked it down, but there is a penalty flag as well.
During the kick, personal foul. Kicking team, number 16. 15-yard penalty from the end of the kick. First down.
That's on Seth Porter. So that'll help Missouri out. And it does appear Brady Cook is in the huddle right now with that offensive unit. So the sophomore from St. Louis primed to return here in the third quarter.
And I wonder what Eli Drinkowitz told his team at halftime in terms of offensively. What do they get back? How do they get back or get in the flow of this game? I hope he said more Luther, right? And I'm talking about Luther Burden, your 5-star recruit, only 1 catch in the first half. But more
his only touch.
Yeah, but he's 2 of 9 on third down as well. They have not converted enough on third down. They need to be a lot better, keep the chains moving, and get this offense active.
Well, you saw there too, they're only 1-11 trailing at halftime under Eli Drinkwitz, and they were trying to get it to Burden deep, and it's overthrown by Cook.
Missed opportunity. Luther had a step. You can see the frustration there by the freshman, the true freshman. Frustrated, you get an opportunity, and you beat your defender, and you've got 2 or 3 steps on him, and your quarterback overshoots him. That's a little frustration there being shown by the true freshman.
Boy, you see a little frustration too from Burden. He knew he had his man beat. Cook completes to Bannister. Let's send it down to Stormy.
Spoke to Eli Drinkwitz coming out of the locker room. He was very quick to talk about what this offense needs to do, and it is establish a run game, move the chains, and find a rhythm. That was their biggest issue. He said it's going to be a really long half of football if we can't get into a rhythm. He also separately told Brady Cook to settle in, settle down, and take what the defense gives you to make some plays start happening, guys.
Third down and 3. Burden stays on the sideline as Lovett goes in motion. Blitz coming. And on the slant, they get the first down out to the 35. A gain of 8 for Dove.
It's a nice little clear out there by Missouri. They had all the action. Everybody was down at the bottom. And you have one-on-one up top. Dove just runs an easy slant. That's pitch and catch. First down.
Play action on 1st and 10. They're looking deep again. And dropped over the top, and this one is caught by Lovett. Inside the 25.
That's the best ball of the day right there by Brady Cook. The out on the outside shoulder. Tremendous job by Brady Cook. Stands in there, and it starts with the protection. Great protection, but an outstanding job adjusting by Lovett.
39 yards on the gain, and then they'll lose a couple. Austin Moore in the backfield again. He's been there all day. Gets after Nathaniel Pete.
That's what the difficulty in trying to block this 3-3-5 defense for Kansas State, because you only see the 3 down linemen, but then you don't know where the active linebackers are going to be. That time, Moore, he's untouched because he's not on the line of scrimmage, able to fill and replace tackle for loss.
Cook on 2nd and 11. Thrown to the outside again, putting it up. Incomplete. Tried to back shoulder Dove. Josh Hayes had the coverage.
Josh Hayes, sticky coverage there. Look, he's a strong safety. Also free safety. He doubles in both. But he's done a tremendous job also in the slot and making tackles on the perimeter. 3rd and long here for this Missouri offense.
Here's Joe Klanderman, your defensive coordinator.
Interesting call here. What does Drinkwitz dial up? But first, they better block 91 here at the bottom.
Cook to the end zone, incomplete. Lovett. Sincere Mason, the senior from Atlanta, had the coverage. It's 4th down, and an injured Missouri Tiger is starting left guard, Xavier Delgado. .10:22 to go here in the third. We'll take a break. Back in a moment. Welcome back to the Big 12 on ESPN. Field goal unit is on here for Missouri. Harrison Mevis has hit from 49. This a 44-yard attempt. Trying to get some points. And it is good. So they get in within a couple of scores, 20-6 now here early in this third period. This season, Allstate will celebrate every field goal and extra point made by participating universities by making a donation to the university's General Scholarship Fund. Thank you, Allstate.
Little momentum booster right there for Missouri. They got points. They wanted 7, but they'll take the 3. But again, an interesting look here, Beth. On their last kickoff, or the opening kickoff of the second half, it was a little bit of a pooch kick.
Yeah.
And so they respect this return game of Kansas State.
They've already given up the punt return for a score.
So now, look, Malik Knowles, number 4, back there, as well as number 8, Phillip Brooks. Do they kick it deep, or do they kick it short again? They kick it short, it's advantage Kansas State.
Number 4 is number 98.
That is the 60th punt or kick return for a touchdown, by the way, since 2005, by far the most in FBS. And second week in a row. Remember, they had a blocked punt for a score last week. Seth Porter blocked it, Desmond Purnell scored on it. And this kickoff will go the distance, and it will sail through the back of the end zone. Let's take a look at this week's college football rankings, brought to you by Goodyear. And it's a tussle right now in Austin. Keeping it really weird right now. Alabama a 1-point lead.
Yeah. Look at USC jumping up into the top 10 the way they performed last week. We'll see them in prime time tonight.
Got Texas A&M coming up next year on ESPN2. Baylor, BYU tonight on ESPN.
Clemson's got to show me a little more. You know, Monday night, Georgia Tech, I didn't see enough. Maybe they can show me a little more.
Well, Missouri's defense has tightened up. The last 3 drives for K-State, 11 plays, just 22 yards. So the Tigers will try and get a quick 3 and out and get that offense back out there.
Yeah, on the last drive, remember that it was that offensive pass interference that really stopped that drive. They had a good thing going, the big completion to Vaughn, but it was called back. And so can they get back into rhythm after we had multiple breaks in this game due to weather?
Martinez, 78 yards passing, 52 rushing. Deuce Vaughn right now, 11 carries for 42 yards for the All-American tailback. The fake to Deuce. And looking for Brooks over the top. There was a good thumb war going on down the near sideline by the DB and the wideout there.
I like how you put that little thumb war, a little tussling, a little jostling back and forth.
He and Joseph Charleston.
Yeah. I think the fans are watching the replay. They felt it was a little more than just a little thumb war. But third down here for the Wildcat offense.
Martinez now 7 for 12. Five on the play clock. Martinez incomplete. Looking for Ben Sinnott, and it's 4th down. That is the 3rd consecutive 3 and out forced by the Missouri D.
Yeah, nice job again by the Missouri defense and just staying home. They're allowing their rush to get there. They're not blitzing. They blitzed earlier on 3rd downs. Now they're just saying, look, our corners, our safeties, we got to be great. We got to be great on the outside. That was a good, terrific job of staying by the chains and not allowing the defender to even get close with the incompletion.
Zentner, good blast, and again, Abrams Drain will let it go over his head, and again, inside the 5. The Wildcats will track it down, and again, it's Boydo. And another flag is down after a 62-yard punt. The last time this happened, the last punt, it was a personal foul on K-State.
During the kick, illegal block in the back. Receiving team, number 35, had the distance to the goal. First down. Timeout.
That's Michael Cox on the special teams unit. 20-6, K-State with the lead. Missouri, though, trying to get a little momentum going.
By Sling TV is brought to you by Crumble Cookies, America's game dessert. Taste this week's rotating flavors before they change.
Young Brady Cook and some of his buds, a lifelong Missouri fan who spent a lot of time in Como at Mizzou football games, and now the sophomore from Chaminade High School out of St. Louis is the starting quarterback and trying to rally Missouri here this afternoon on the road at K-State.
Got to do it backed up in the shadows of his own end zone.
Cody Schrader is back in at tailback. Looking to throw downfield, and it's intercepted. Underthrown, and Kobe Savage has the pick. They have been committed to throwing downfield here in the third quarter, Kirk, and this one came up short.
Well, earlier he overshot Luther Burden. This time, this ball was just undercut. It's a throw that should have been obviously out in front of Lovett, but this is a terrific play by Savage. You just undercut that one. He saw the eyes of the quarterback, Brady Cook, and said, I'm going for it. If he doesn't make that play, that's probably a touchdown. But you got to be confident as a defensive back to undercut and make that play.
Let's see if they go quick strike here. Try and capitalize on the takeaway. First one of the day. Martinez dropped. Knowles had hands on it. Couldn't haul it in.
Yeah, I think Knowles was looking at the end zone. That's why.
Yes.
I think his eyes were looking at that purple end zone that says K-State on it. Got to look it all the way in. Again, great ball placement by Martinez.
Couple of drops today, just 78 yards passing. The offense has stagnated in the second half, and credit Missouri's defense for that. Dalen Carnell, and a flag on the play. It came from the secondary.
Yeah, it looks like the umpire in the area of holding. Look at the right guard, Panzer, maybe.
Personal foul, face mask, defense, 15-yard penalty, automatic first down.
There's a little extra going on as that play was developing. A couple of guys came free on the Missouri side, but
I don't think he gave us a number on that.
I know 54 was involved. I'll tell you that. It was Hanley Panzer was involved in that one. As he got up to the second level of that Missouri defense, and somebody was holding on to the face mask.
So back into the red zone here for K-State, 1st and 10. Empty backfield for Martinez, and now he'll ask Deuce to join him. Deuce gets the corner inside the 10 and shoved out of bounds with a first down at the 8-yard line.
God, he's so good at that play, right? The outside zone on the perimeter. Because you never know if he's going to turn it up or he's going to go all the way to the outside, and he sets the block up perfectly, right? He gets the defender to commit inside, and then he goes outside and picks up the first down.
52 yards now on the day. Got a good edge block from Sammy Wheeler, the 6'5", 240-pound tight end. 1st and goal. Wildcats looking to cash in the turnover. Vaughn cut down at the 4-yard line by Abrams Drain, and a gain of 4 more.
And I think they may get a hold in the interior of the offensive line. looked to be the center, 55, Gillum, just holding on just a little bit.
Yep.
As Kristen Williams was
Legal
there.
block in the back. Offense, number 17. 10-yard penalty. Remains first down.
I think you were right, though, Kirk. There must have been 2 penalties on that play.
No. Yeah, I saw a couple guys. And again, that's the difficulty sometimes when you have a unique dynamic back like Deuce Vaughn. Because he can start one way, because that play was supposed to go to the left, but he saw that there was nothing there. He cuts it all the way back, and as an offensive lineman, you're thinking, I got to block my guy to the outside. Next thing you know, you got a running back up your back.
So the penalty will set them back. Somebody running on late for Missouri. They only had 10 guys on the field. That's Carnell joining the party. A lot of movement in the backfield, and Missouri had good eyes there. They knew where the ball was. Rakestraw makes the play on Martinez.
We haven't called his name a lot. Enos Rakestraw, and he's a guy that Blake Baker talked about a lot as one of the guys he wants to get active, going and blitzing off the outside as an extra run defender because of Martinez.
2nd down and goal. They've scored 2 touchdowns on their 2 red zone possessions so far today. Martinez to throw. Warner just out of his reach. And it's 3rd down.
Great recognition there, though, by Adrian Martinez. He realized, he saw the corner blitz, just drew it up, right? Rakestraw comes off the edge. He knew he had man-to-man, and he tried to lob that right in the middle for Warner, just overshot him.
That's 4 straight incompletions now. Their passing game is under 50% on their completion rate this afternoon. That was his number during his 3 years at Nebraska. Here he is again, back to throw the pump. Now he's got to scramble. Then he throws it away, and it's 4th down. So a very costly penalty setting back Kansas State. That was Darius Robinson getting some good pressure, and now the officials will talk again. Was this intentional grounding?
No, he got it back to the line of scrimmage, and also Deuce Vaughn was in the area. But this was another tremendous job by the Missouri defense. They read the screen all the way. They saw that there was the receiver who was sneaking in for the slip screen, and a heady play, actually, by Adrian Martinez, realizing, hey, that play is not going to work. Throw it away, concede what you have, which is the field goal opportunity.
35-yard attempt now for Chris Tennant. They've already had an extra point block today. Chris had a miss last week, and this one is good. 3 points off of the interception for K-State. Under 7 to go here in the 3rd, and a 23-6 lead in Manhattan for the home team. Not a much different story on the ground this week. A step up in the competition for the Missouri run game. Over 300 yards in their opening win last weekend. 58 so far today. Just 1 rush of over 10 yards. It has been a very stout K-State defense. And after the made field goal and a 23-6 lead, the Wildcats will boot it away. Abrams Drain with the fair catch. Let's send it to the studio and Kevin Connors.
Yeah, and Beth, it's time for our Twisted Tea drop-in as we head to Austin, Texas, leading Alabama 16-10. Sam Acho, Bryce Young, so patient.
This is the Bryce Young effect. The linebacker vacates his coverage to try and chase down Bryce Young. He vacates. Bryce Young finds the open spot.
Alabama up 1, but Beth, Texas is driving late.
Oh, that's a good one going on in Austin. Brady Cook. Last time he was out there, threw the pick. Now work out of the eye, try on the ground with Nathan Peete. And out across the 30. Good job by Nathaniel to redirect, make something out of that.
Yeah, there was nothing there. And he utilized the ability to get inside and made the defense condense itself. And then he gets all the way to the outside. There's nobody there. But I'm still surprised they haven't been able to run the football as well as they did a week ago. Obviously, Louisiana Tech, a much different opponent, but still, this Kansas State front has been outstanding building a wall.
Pete gets out close to the line to gain, just shy of the 35. Sincere Mason with the stop. We have not seen Xavier Delgado return yet. Now he's coming in right now. The starting left guard who went out earlier with an injury. Check that. 6 offensive linemen here. And Cook will run for the first down. That was not Delgado coming on. That was Mitchell Walters running on late.
Yeah, but I think he's hurt. That was a shot that he took. And this is, you talked about it earlier, Beth. You said if he's going to be the leading rusher, how long could he last in this football game? And I think right now, Brady Cook may have to be out for a play.
He's taken some significant hits. Jack Abraham, who was warming up, coming out of the locker room at halftime, is warming up again.
Yeah, just watching.
Oh, all the weight coming down on that right side.
Yeah, putting your quarterback in harm's way. That's a 3rd and short. And you can only have so many of those per game. And that time, Cook a little banged up.
He's tough. He wanted to turn right around and come back out there, but at least for a play, it will be Abraham, the grad student out of Oxford, Mississippi, transferred in from Southern Miss. 7th year of college football. He started 29 games at Southern Miss. He'll hand it off to Pete. And Daniel Green meets him in the backfield. I believe that's the 11th negative play for this K-State defense.
So Abraham came in the game, and I think everybody here at Bill Snyder Family Stadium knew it was going to be a run play. So Kansas State defensively sold out. So not surprised at all by the negative play there by the Missouri offense. But now Brady Cook's he's behind the chains. Can he find a way to just cut this in half, a 2nd down, and get into a manageable 3rd down?
Cook returns, as does a bit of a spritzing rain again. Cook with the time, and it's picked off. Daniel Green went up to try and deflect it, and instead just grabbed it out of the air. Second INT of the afternoon.
This one's a tough one on the quarterback because Brady Cook never saw Daniel Green. Number 22, Daniel Green. I know he's 6'3", 242, but watch number 22 in the middle. He's the middle linebacker. See, he's kind of hunched down a little bit, creeping up. And then at the last second, he reads the quarterback's eyes, jumps up and grabs the interception. Just watch 22 in the middle the entire time. See, he's kind of creeping, keeping a little low profile. Brady Cook puts that arm back. Daniel Green jumps up for the interception.
That is 2 straight throws that have been intercepted. And again, a short field for the Wildcats. Here's Deuce Vaughn. Waited for a crease. Picks up 5 or 6. Damian Wilson with the tackle.
You know, that's one of those linebackers' dreams, right? Linebackers sitting in there, and you're hoping the quarterback doesn't see you, and Green just jumps up and plucks it out of the air.
Under 4.5 now to go in the 3rd. 2nd and 6. Martinez throws back the other way, wide open inside the 20 is Brooks. And it's first down, K-State.
Terrific play call there by Colin Klein, offensive coordinator. All the action going left, and Adrian Martinez reverse pivots. And it's a nice route there by Brooks. He sails as if he's going out to the post, and he comes back and goes to the corner. That ball hung up in the air for a little bit, double caught by Brooks. He probably had more time to run if he caught it cleanly.
Jack Stanine now in the game. And he will get the ball down to the 15. Tyron Hopper with the stop, and let's check in with Kevin Connors.
And Beth, I want to let you know a busy week 2 here in college football. We've got South Carolina and Arkansas in a good one over on ESPN right now. North Carolina in another shootout, this time in Atlanta against Georgia State. You can see that over on ESPNU. And Keaton Slovis ready to take his swings. Pitt against a very good Tennessee team over on ABC. Also, the Texas A&M Appalachian State game will start on the ESPN app. And Texas is leading Alabama, Beth.
Thank you, Kevin. Yeah, that's in the final 2 minutes now in Austin with Alabama driving at midfield.
Number 73, 5-yard penalty, second down.
And a penalty here against K-State. Their last possession off of an interception was derailed by a penalty, and now here they go again.
Yeah, this time Christian Duffy, the right tackle. Got a little anxious there, ready to get off and make a block. It's a big drive here for Kansas State. They can really put this game away, I believe, early on, especially with the running attack of Deuce Vaughn. We're going to get a load of him the rest of this game.
Martinez incomplete over the head of Brooks. And it's third down.
Yeah, you mentioned the weather. I don't know if that one probably had an effect because that one came off the hand just a little bit differently. He lost that one as it sailed over Brooks. Again, third and long here. Do you put the ball in the air, hand it off to Deuce Vaughn, kick another field goal, and make this another 3-possession game?
3 for 9 on third down today. They'll try Vaughn. Slippery, breaking a tackle, gets it down to about the 13-yard line. It'll be fourth down. And the kicking unit will come on.
Yeah, it's the right decision there. Nice job there by Missouri staying pat. But again, you mentioned it, Beth. Penalties for Kansas State. They make the interception, get the turnover. Penalty knocks them back, and now they're forced to kick a field goal.
Back-to-back interceptions from Brady Cook, and K-State good from 35. They'll try another one here from 31. And that is no good. 2 takeaways on the Missouri side of the field, and K-State only gets 3 points out of it.
Bend but don't break. Outstanding job there by the Missouri defense. You know you got a field goal opportunity, but they got to make it. And I don't know if weather had something to do with that as well, too, Beth. Ball a little slippery, a little rain.
We've got a new quarterback in the ballgame here for Missouri. It's Jack Abraham. They will make the switch from Brady Cook. Trailing 23-6. And there's a flag.
False start. Offense, number 55. 5-yard penalty. First down.
Hey, don't forget the lineup we've got for the U.S. Open Women's Finals this afternoon on ESPN. Our Saturday night football game, USC Stanford, then the men's championship tomorrow, and the return of Monday Night Football for the 53rd season. And we open up with Russell Wilson's return to Seattle. So as Brady Cook looks on, Jack Abraham now at the controls, and that one went right through the arms of Barrett Bannister, incomplete.
So you got a new quarterback in, but yet we still haven't seen much of Luther Burden. I don't know why have we not seen some wildcat something, get even Abraham sort of acclimated into this game. First play, you're out throwing, already behind the chains again.
The long and winding road that brought Jack here today. Another interception. Nick Allen. And a fortuitous hop out of the hands of Nathaniel Pete. It's their third pick of the quarter.
And I'm just asking, can Luther Burden touch the football? Wildcat, end around, something. Give this defense another look, because Kansas State right now, They're just watching the quarterback. They're keeping their eyes on the quarterback. Tips and overthrows. This is what Missouri did last week. Tips and interceptions. This time, it's the tip because the ball, an errant throw, and it's an interception by Nick Allen, the backup linebacker for Kansas State. I mean, Jack Abraham comes into the game, and I think you run the football a couple times, get Luther Burden, get Lovett, somebody else. So you had the first errant throw on first down, and then you had the tip pass now for an interception.
That is 3 picks in the last 4 throws from Missouri quarterbacks. Not all on them. Vaughn down to the 15. Chad Bailey with the tackle. That Missouri defense got to be getting a little tired. They have been out on the field an awful lot here in the third.
Well, the strength of this team is their defensive front, so they've been able to rotate. Coach Blake Baker, the D coordinator, said we can rotate 8 to 10 guys along that front. They're going to get a ton of Deuce Vaughn.
Martinez ball is out, and he's able to fall back on it. Well, one thing Chris Klieman is definitely going to be disappointed in right now is the sloppiness of this offense off of the interceptions here. Whether it's penalties or a slippery football.
Yeah, penalties, you mentioned it. But again, you got to find a way, Beth, to put this ball in the end zone, put teams away.
3rd and 10. Vaughn picks up a block, and Martinez incomplete. He was trying to find Malik Knowles. In the kicking game, which has been an issue through the first couple of weeks, they'll try again with Tennant.
And Knowles just didn't get in and out of his break on that last one. And that was sort of a catch and run element there. Adrian Martinez did his job. But it looked like Malik Knowles, again, weather, slips a little bit, and the pass is off.
Good from 35, no good from 31. Here is a 37-yard attempt. And that one is good. 26-6. K-State on top, 35 seconds to go here in the third.
Now, who comes out for Missouri? That's the question.
The quarterback for the Tigers.
It's a great picture there looking at the 2 quarterbacks. Who comes out? You mentioned the turnovers on the last 3 drives for Missouri. But again, I'm still trying to figure out why hasn't Luther Burden, again, on this day so far, 1 catch, 3 yards. I keep repeating myself, 1 catch, 3 yards for a real difference maker for your offense.
Both sides had to fight through an hour weather delay at the end of the first half. They came out, played for about 10 minutes, and then went back into the locker room for the full 20-minute halftime before returning. And it will be Abraham coming back out. Here's what's happened the last 3 times they've had it.
It's the interception by Savage, cutting underneath, making a play. Daniel Green, the linebacker, hiding, laying in the weeds, jumps up, makes the pick. And then the backup linebacker, Nick Allen, tips and overthrows. I got to get those. That's what we say. In that linebacker position, Nick Allen has 3 consecutive interceptions in 3 consecutive drives.
Cody Schrader pulling a couple of tacklers out across the 30. Cody had a touch early, and we haven't seen much of him since. The transfer from Truman State. They're going to try and hustle, I think, here and get off another play before the end of the quarter. And a false start.
False start. Offense, number 66, 5-yard penalty. Remains second down.
This is some of the difficulty and challenges when you switch quarterbacks. It's a different voice. You're used to a certain voice. Brady Cook, I know that voice. Now all of a sudden Jack Abraham has a different cadence, and so it can throw off the offensive line early on.
And that'll take care of the third quarter. 26-6, K-State on top of Mizzou.
Kevin and Sam in studio. Texas leading #1 Alabama late when Bryce Young makes a play.
This is what Heisman quarterbacks do. You saw the corner blitz by Watts. Watts was coming full speed. Bryce Young avoided it, got the first down.
In field goal range from 33, Will Reichert for the win. #1 escapes with a 2019 win. Beth, App State and Texas A&M underway right now on the ESPN app.
All right, they'll move over behind us a little bit later. And as that is another interception, the fourth in a row it is. Sincere Mason. And now both quarterbacks have thrown a pair of picks. And it's a ride on the struggle bus right now for this Missouri offense.
It's a tough one. And then they brought pressure. That's another thing. And we talked about the defense, the 3-3-5, and how they've been able to just get rush 3 and get to the quarterback. But when you blitz, you get rushed, and Jack Abraham rushes that pass, not enough on it, another interception. It's been a bad half for the Missouri quarterbacks. They just can't find anybody open. That's 4 consecutive throws that have been intercepted. The last 4 throws.
4 of the last 5, actually. Yep.
Yeah. Oh my God. That's.
And the 5th was an incompletion.
Yeah. It's. I'll keep repeating it, Beth. It's.
That was not intended for Luther, was it?
No, it's just.
Offside. Defense, number 92.
Frustrating, for sure.
5-yard penalty, first down.
It's frustrating on one side because I understand. But right now your quarterbacks are struggling a little bit. You got to find another way offensively to move the ball down the field. And if it's putting some guys in some different situations, need a spark, trick plays, we haven't seen any of that. And that's something we saw a lot of last week and haven't seen any of that this week.
Well, now K-State will go to the I formation, and I would imagine a lot of run game headed Missouri's way. Deuce Vaughn bottled up at the line of scrimmage. It'll be 2nd and 6. So Vaughn's numbers so far, 15 carries, 67 yards. Adrian Martinez has rushed for 49 and thrown for 94. So weather has kind of put a damper on both the offenses through the first 3 quarters. Big opening for Vaughn. The cutback at midfield. He's got a blocker in front of him. Vaughn running through defenders and his own guys. Down inside the 30-yard line and a gain of 29.
4th quarter deuce. That's what we can start calling them, 4th quarter deuce. Because you just watch the patience of Deuce. He gets the football, waits, and I said it earlier. It's his ability to go 0 to 100. He sees them with the opening, he finds the gap, and he's just electric in the open field.
Of course, you do know what Deuce adds up to. 4. There you go. See, that's the connection. 17 carries, 95 yards as he tries to finish this off in the 4th quarter. So remember, Vaughn already has a score, so that's a rushing touchdown in 9 consecutive games. And now he is going for an 8th consecutive game with at least 100 yards rushing. And he is on the precipice.
He's trying to get closer to Darren Sproles, right? Their record of 10 consecutive 100-yard rushing games. This is the time to do it. This is a part in the game where you start to say, our offensive line can wear down this defensive front of Missouri.
We're going to try and work a lot of that play clock, too, on every snap. Vaughn has a 100-yard day and has another touchdown run. 24 yards for his 2nd score.
I just want you to watch the center, 55, Hayden Gillum. When you get an offensive lineman, especially the center, he gets up to the 2nd level, it's easy for Deuce Vaughn. It's easy. Just finds the crease, races for the end zone. Again, that offensive line, the blocking, just giving enough of a crease for Deuce Vaughn for a touchdown.
Extra point is good. Vaughn now 19 carries, 121 yards, and 2 touchdowns, Kirk.
We said the Deuce was going to get loose. Well, you mentioned it again. Deuce is wild. 2-2 for 6.
If it's us versus them, who you think gon' win? Better not drop that pen.
Welcome back to ESPN College Football, presented by Sling TV. 33-6, Kansas State over Missouri. Tigers have turned it over on 4 straight possessions. And another big afternoon for running back Deuce Vaughn for K-State.
And he's been doing it inside, outside. People don't understand just how strong of a runner that he is. You look at the size and you don't expect him to be such a good runner in between the tackles, but yet he is. It's the patience, it's utilizing the offensive line, but it's more importantly, who is he thinking? He knows it's the guys up front making his way. And we said they had the advantage with the offensive line. And he's chasing one of the best to ever do it. That Kansas State, the great Darren Sproles. Deuce Vaughn putting on the show.
There's a touch for Luther Burden. They get him on the end around out across the 30. Sproles, by the way, so next week would be hosting Tulane, and then he would be going to tie the record September 24th at Oklahoma. Their next 2 ball games.
And the coaches just rave about Deuce Vaughn. That's all they talk about, just selflessness. I think earlier we saw him in pass protection, keeping his quarterback clean, showing he's an all-around running back.
Brady Cook is back in at quarterback. He threw a couple of interceptions. Then Jack Abraham came on. He threw a couple of interceptions. So it's back to the starter. And what has been a rough go of it for the Missouri offense. K-State has not given them many chances to get things going. They have Abilene Christian next week, and then they start that SEC gauntlet at Auburn, hosting Georgia, and at Florida to open up the SEC. Kind of 3rd and 4 right here. Cook spins away from the pressure, and he'll reach out for the first down. As Austin Moore gave chase.
Get a couple guys stunting and moving out of the way. Seumalo didn't have contain. Cook felt that, gets to the outside, knows where the chains are, knows where the marker is. Gets the first down, keep the drive alive.
Nathaniel Pete in at tailback. He'll get the carry. Out to the 40, and a gain of 4. Khalid Duke caught him from behind.
Good to see Khalid Duke out there. They weren't sure he was going to go, but he's found a 6'4", 246-pound junior. Another one of those outside linebackers, very active on his defense.
In the wrong direction again for the Tigers as the Wildcats. They've been in the backfield all afternoon, a loss of 14.
And it starts with number 15, Robert Hintz, in the middle. He gets the great penetration, and once he gets penetration, he doesn't stop the ball carrier, but he just makes the ball carrier bubble. And then you just hope the cavalry comes through. Brendan Mott finishing him off, number 38. That's great team defense. One guy doesn't get him, but the cavalry is right behind you.
Joe Klanderman's crew has been ready for just about everything today. That switch last year to the 3-3-5 defense has proven to be quite effective. Pete taken down at the 30, and it's 4th down. It's resulted, Kirk, in about 11 fewer points per game and about 100 yards total offense less than prior to that move, and they've carried it over into this season.
It's very difficult to try to scheme up against, because you only have the 3 rushers or 3 down linemen and 3 linebackers that can fit anywhere. They can fit on the ball, off the ball, but the 5 secondary players very active. We see them very active in the run game and also in the screen game on the perimeter.
Their special teams has also contributed. Phillip Brooks, punt return score, as that punt goes out of bounds. And the official on the far sideline will stop at the 37-yard line after a 33-yard punt and a 33-6 K-State lead.
ESPN College Football is presented by Sling, the TV you love for a price you'll love.
Ooh, those are student-made ice creams and dairy products right there, Kirk. More than 20,000 gallons of ice cream each year with flavors. That looks like some Purple Pride right there. Candy Crunch, Apple Dapple. That's the campus dairy bar. And always a crowd pleaser. There's got to be some sort of Deuce Vaughn flavor under development, I would think. There's been a lot of Vaughn today. 121 yards rushing with 2 scores. Adding to it, he has outrushed the Missouri Tigers today. as he has scored for the 9th straight game and hit 100 yards rushing for the 8th straight game. Look at that.
Yeah. It's funny to watch him in the way that he sets everything up, right? One of the best running backs, I think, in college football, because you know he's a weapon. He's going to get the football. It's about how many times. But again, Colin Klein, his offensive coordinator, realizes I can get him the ball multiple ways. Screen game, check downs, running. Just find a way to get it to 22.
What else you got for us, Stormy, as Deuce takes it again?
Well, because he is a smaller size back, he's undersized, he's only 5'6". He's been proving people wrong his entire career. And I asked him, what do you say to people who tell you you can't? And he said, I just say, watch and see. I've been putting in the work. I know what I'm capable of doing. He calls small his superpower. That's something that he got from his dad. And he said he's always found a way to make his height, make his size an advantage for him. And clearly it has paid off at the collegiate level.
Yeah, he doesn't have the receiving numbers today, but he has a shot.
Yeah.
He's within 100 yards of 1,000 yards receiving. So when you talk about guys that have 2,000 yards rushing and 1,000 yards receiving, I mean, you're in Reggie Bush and Saquon Barkley and Christian McCaffrey type of territory. Remember, he's just a junior out of Round Rock, Texas.
Yeah, you talked about a lot of those running backs last year that were on the All-American team. A lot of those guys are now gone, Beth, and he's sort of leading the way as sort of the best, the cream of the crop, the best backs in all of college football.
The lone returnees from the AP top 3 teams would be Deuce, Jahmyr Gibbs, who transferred over to Alabama, and then Sean Tucker of Syracuse.
Yeah. A lot of backs gone off of that list of a year ago.
More of Vaughn, and I got to believe shortly you want to make sure, right, that Deuce stays healthy.
Definitely his last series if I'm Kansas State.
Give him a shot maybe at getting this first down, and then a nice curtain call. Shout out to the student section, by the way. They stayed out there through the hour-long rain delay, and they have been boisterous from start to finish. They were here a couple hours early today.
Man,
in poncho and not.
They were my entertainment, trust me. They were my entertainment during the delay. Thank you, student section.
Way to go, gang. Oh, Martinez will keep. And I think he's got the push for an extra set of downs. They want to run this clock. If he is done, Vaughn 23 carries for 141 yards today with 2 scores. And he's going to stay out there.
This is part of the new offense for Kansas State. What Colin Klein, the offensive coordinator, talked about, being able to not only run more plays, but be able to huddle when you can't, go different tempos, make the defense have to guess.
More of Vaughn. And that will put the team total over 200 yards rushing. Hey, Big 12 Now on ESPN Plus is a must-have for Big 12 fans, including the featured games tonight, Kansas and West Virginia. TCU also in action. If you're a Big 12 fan, you got to have it. Sign up today at ESPNplus.com/Big 12 Now. And there is the nice curtain call and a hug with his head coach for Deuce Vaughn, done for the day. ...145 yards, 2 scores for Deuce. And some work here for DJ Giddens as that clock goes under 5 minutes to play. Offense scored a couple of times early. It was the defense really setting a tone for K-State. And then the punt return was electric, coming right out of the 1-hour rain delay, lightning delay we had here. And then the Missouri quarterback miscues 4 interceptions on 5 straight pass attempts. And that was all she wrote. Kansas State looking to get to 2-0. Missouri will fall to 1-1. One of those games, Kurt, right? We talked about it earlier. If for both fan bases, you thought you had a chance to win this thing.
Correct.
And kind of set the tone for the rest of September before you dive deep into conference play, which is coming in a couple of weeks.
Yeah, you mentioned it with Missouri, with Auburn, Georgia, Florida coming up in the near future. And then Kansas State, they already know what's ahead of them, right? They're going to have, in a couple of weeks, the Oklahoma game. And that's, you know, that's always a big statement game to see, can Kansas State truly be a contender in the Big 12 this season? This is what Adrian Martinez came here for. He came here to play in some big games. A lot of confidence in number 9, the quarterback. And they can be in that conference championship.
First charge timeout of the half, Kansas State.
Kansas State will call a timeout. We'll take it with them with 3:18 to go. Hey, our Saturday night football game presented by Capital One is a Pac-12 statement game. Lincoln Riley and USC taking on Stanford in Palo Alto. 7:30 Eastern, 4:30 Pacific on ABC. 33-6, Kansas State trying to convert on 4th down to pretty much end this one. Got a 4th down and 4, Martinez. And it's caught for a 1st down to Seth Porter.
Terrific job there by Adrian Martinez. Recognized he was under pressure and just bought a little bit of time. Just a little bit, just a little scooch to the left, back up a little bit, through on time. That's not a lot of time. Not a lot of opportunities today to make those types of plays, but outstanding job there by Martinez to pick up the 1st down.
Yeah, they were turnover free today.
It's been the last 2 games.
Yeah, and they forced 4, so they're going to look good in that department. Deuce Vaughn has a 100-yard rushing game. The offensive line really set the tone. They do not give up a touchdown on defense, and they're going to score again. DJ Giddens, touchdown, K-State. Yards for the redshirt freshman out of Junction City. And now DJ has scored in consecutive games.
Is again just finding the crease. As much as we talked about Adrian Martinez, and we talked about Deuce Vaughn, now Giddens, guess what? A round of applause for this offensive line for Kansas State. They've been outstanding today. This front of Missouri, the SEC front of Missouri, has not stood a chance against Kansas State.
233 yards rushing today for K-State. And they are rolling 40-6. Yeah, it's been one of those whatever it takes kind of days for the fans here in Manhattan, and now they're getting payback for it. A 40-6 K-State lead over Missouri. All 3 phases working in concert today for the Wildcats. And plenty of things to do in film study the next few days for the Missouri Tigers, Kirk.
Yeah, they got to figure out a rhythm offensively. Last week, it came pretty easy to them. Playing at home, Louisiana Tech was the opponent, and they were able to do a lot of different things. But I expected them to give me more of sort of the wrinkles they had a week ago, whether it was the Wildcat, whether it was the end arounds, the throwback passes. Luther Bird lined up at quarterback last week.
Yeah.
We saw that. We didn't see that at all today, by the way, Beth. So to me, it's sort of a head scratcher. One of my best players not touching the football enough.
Yeah, they are going to throw here on 1st down. Cook rolling, looking, incomplete. the other side for K-State, you got to be thrilled with the 4 interceptions. She had a punt return for a touchdown and a awfully good showing by that offensive line in front of Deuce Vaughn today. They got stagnant for a little bit and hit a couple of hiccups in the red zone, so those will be a few things to try and tidy up. Incomplete on 2nd down.
Back-to-back throws there from Brady Cook. It has not been there at all today. This has been a stingy secondary for Kansas State. You mentioned the transfers in that back end for Coach Klanderman and that defensive backfield. They've been on point with interceptions, tackling. It's been a very impressive group.
Yeah, they were in the backfield too all game long. Double-digit negative plays.
See, Coach still coaching over there. He doesn't care about the score. He's still coaching his guys up.
Cook gonna keep, and he won't get there. It's 4th down. That's Bo Palmer who made the play. And looks like they're gonna punt it away here. Sean Ketting. Phillip Brooks has it. And I would imagine a couple of knees here for Kansas State to try and close this thing out. There's a look at what's coming up. Tulane is next. Then 3 of 4 on the road in the conference at Oklahoma, at Iowa State, at TCU. Iowa State has their yearly affair with Iowa today. And then back-ended by the defending champs in the conference, Baylor. Always dicey trip to West Virginia. Jack Rubley will come on here at quarterback. And it's a 2-0 start for Adrian Martinez as the quarterback of the Cats. Rubley, the redshirt freshman out of Highlands Ranch, Colorado. And we have a turnover here. We do. It's Missouri football.
And it's probably the only negative play I've seen all day from Kansas State offensively. And it's just trying to extend the football a little bit. Just go down. So still teaching moments, learning moments here with about a minute left for both sides. Kansas State, now Missouri gets back on the football.
It's Deuce Vaughn trying to teach up Anthony Frias here. Brady Cook, love it. He'll fight his way down to the 10, close to a 1st down. Under a minute to go. Cody Schrader wriggles his way down to the 2. Schrader again up the gut. Down to the 1-yard line.
Sigmund, run it again, trying to get something positive to end this football game, to get back on the line of scrimmage, possibly the last play of this game.
Stuffed in the backfield. And did they call a timeout here with 5 seconds left? They did.
Yeah, I think the fans realize that too.
First starts time under the half. Missouri, 30-second timeout.
So they call a timeout in order to run one more play to see if they can get on the board here with a touchdown. A couple of field goals today for Missouri. Cook looking, throwing, broken up. And is there still a second on the clock for Missouri? There is. It's 4th down.
One play left. A little drama here down at the end. But nice deflection there. Look like TJ Smith, number 7, showing the depth that they have in that secondary. And there goes Coach Klanderman again. He's coaching his guys up. Last play scenario. These are the moments that you talk about. We talk about this play on film. Kansas State get one more stop to end the game.
Cook buying some time on the rollout. Throws it to the back of the end zone, incomplete, and the Kansas State defense holds, and it's final. And there is a flag down. A roughing the passer penalty against Kansas State. And Missouri will get another play. Oh, no doubt about it. Number 93, Jalen Pickle. Another chance for Missouri.
One untimed down.
They'll run it with Schrader. Second effort gets him in. Touchdown.
The result of the play is a touchdown. That's the end of the ball game.
Our final score, Kansas State 40, Missouri 12. For Kirk Morrison, Stormy Bonatoni, I'm Beth Mullins. Thanks for watching. Now let's get you back to the studio with Kevin Connors.
All right, Beth, and we want to let you know right now over on ABC, Tennessee has fallen behind